to John's Author Diary for the week ending June the 27th, 2021. I've had a busy week. I finished the line edits on Crucible of Shadows, so I'm going to let that rest for a while now. If you've been following these diaries for a while, you'll know that I've mentioned the Black Death trilogy, which I was writing with two co-authors. I wrote my contribution to this back in 2017, and we waited for ages for one of the co-authors to deliver. And after months of missed deadlines and excuses, one of the co-authors decided to walk away from the project. So no hard feelings. That's just one of those things that happens. So me and the other co-author, we regrouped. I wrote a bunch of extra chapters and handed the manuscript over. I think it was in August 2019. This was originally meant to come out in 2018, then 2019, then 2020, then earlier this year. So it's felt like a bit of a weight hanging around. I think both our necks, to be honest. I think he was getting a bit stressed about it, and I just wanted it done. So the co-author and I have decided that the project won't happen as it was. It won't be a co-authored thing. It doesn't fit in with what he's doing now, which has got a lot to do with anime and things like that. And so we have parted ways. We're still good friends, but I now am in the process of salvaging what I can from the story. So I've pulled out all the scenes that I've written, and I'm left with basically a 75,000 word novel. And after giving it a read, um, 3/4 of it works well. It's a decent standalone novel, but I need to do a lot of work if I'm going to bring the kind of last section up to scratch. Because this, when it was co-authored, this is where the storylines converged, and so you've got a lot of characters appearing in each other's scenes, and I don't know, it's going to require a lot of work, and there's part of me thinking that I just draw a line and then it's done. And I think I might be falling for that sunk cost fallacy of, I spent months working on this and I don't like letting things just linger. So I am going to look at it. I'm going to rework it. I have been working on it this week, been kind of pulling out the big weeds, so to speak. There's a few issues with timeline not working and just getting the final scenes to work with the characters that I've got to play with. And I think I can fix it. And I'm going to give myself a month to do it. So I'm going to give myself until the schools break up for the school holidays. And if I can't get a decent draft by then I'm just going to have to leave it as a bad job. So I've been working on it this week. I'm 22,000 words into the final draft. So I've been going through it. So far, so good. It has been working so far. I know that as I get to the middle section, there's going to be a bit of work getting the timelines right. And then the final act is a mess. So I really need to do a lot of work on that. I'll probably end up having to write some new scenes and things like that. So what this means is if it works, I'll be releasing this book as a standalone. It won't be a trilogy. It'll be called Black Death Survival. And I think it'll probably be, I don't know, maybe October kind of time. That's where I'm looking at. And then once this is all finished, I'll be able to go back to my Crucible of Shadows series. Now, I did want to have a break from this first book in the Crucible of Shadows series, and so this has fallen on my lap at the perfect time. So that's fine. I'm determined to just get this done, get it as good as I can, release it, something that I'm proud of. It's not just going to be a rush job. I am going to put as much into this as I can to get it up to the standard of my other stuff. I've got a cover, that's come back from the designer with just my name on it. And I think it was summer, maybe 2019, I want to say, I wrote a spin off novella called Black Death London and a short story set in the world. So I've got some other things I can give to readers. So I'll just have to revisit those, give them another draft, another set of line edits, whatever. So yeah, didn't expect that to be coming, but I'm going with it. see what happens. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I just want to get this done and get it out there. So, in terms of reading, I finished Dragon Keeper by Robin Hobb. Felt more like a first act of a story than a complete novel. It is the first book in a four-part series, but the pacing was very plodding. And, it's a 20-hour audiobook, and it didn't feel like there was a lot that has actually happened in it. So I have started the second book, which is called Dragon Haven. But if it doesn't pick up, I doubt I'm going to read all four books in the series. There's not enough time in the world really to sit there listening to a book that is boring. So, which is a shame because I've mentioned it before. The Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb is my favourite trilogy probably of all time, and everything else that I've read by her just doesn't meet that standard, unfortunately. I also read a non-fiction book called The Science of Storytelling by, I think it was Will Storr. That was a fascinating book. So it's basically trying to bring together neuroscience and story theory. So I would recommend that if you're a writer. There's a lot of gold in there. So next week, it's all about working through Black Death. It's been easy enough so far, but I know that the fiddly stuff's coming. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Finally, I just want to thank everyone who has subscribed to this YouTube channel. I'm now at over 100 subscribers, which means I've been able to give the channel a custom URL. So now it's youtube.com/c/John Cronshaw author rather than a bunch of random letters and numbers. So hit like, hit subscribe, ask me any questions you want in the comments. So until next time, cheerio.